part of it over with and really focus on day 3. But there's two games and 4 big points left up for grabs.
Absolutely.
So win one of these, Vichy. Make sure it's a close match.
Yeah, for me, it's pace of play. That's the takeaway. And still searching for the Viswanathan Anand that I was promised, right? In the sense of how he approaches a game stylistically and where his success is born out of.
Yeah, his speed of play.
We were close to it in that last game. Almost played both sides.
Who promised you that?
Yeah, you did.
It was me.
Well, I don't know if it was a promise, but that's the player you told me to look for if we're going to see Vichy in his top form.
It's my fault.
And we haven't yet seen it.
And now we do have English, C2, C4 on the board. And maybe we'll see some kind of a transposition, D4, D5, E2, E3. Remember Garry going for that very aggressive knight D7, E5, as they did in the rapid. C7, C6.
Why is Garry spotting this guy time, no matter what the time control?
Oh, I didn't like this move, D2, D4. I thought that was very, very timid. I really much preferred the move E2, E4 instead. And what was the idea? The idea was to play knight to E3 and to control the D5 square. After D4, D5, I think this is a kind of an easy game for black, especially Garry is playing a very sedate.
Isn't this a reminder of the first
game?
game?
Yeah, with E6, the pawns the E pawns got traded. Now the C pawns got traded. Again, Garry is not playing that move Bishop A5. I've been pounding the table on a couple of occasions to try to get that, to provoke the move B6. Sorry.
Well, here we are with Vichy. He is stopping to think about this last move, and it doesn't feel like a blitz game yet.
Not yet.
The way they're playing, a bit
Very
slowly.
slow, yeah.
They need to figure out how to harmonize the pieces in this new structure that they haven't seen as yet. Usually we have played thousands of games of chess and blitz that the first 10 moves just come off your fingertips, no problem.
Right.
Yeah.
But here, a little bit of time spent.
You see
Bishop
right above
C7.
our heads right here. It's 5-3. We went from 25-10 down to 5-3. Talk to me about that switch-up mid-tournament. How conscious of a decision is it or that you have to make here to really increase your speed?
I think it's one of the most difficult transitions you have to make. You go from a format, rapid chess, 25 minutes plus 5, you kind of lulled yourself into this full sense of I've got a lot of time. Suddenly you got 5 minutes. And, you got to snap yourself to attention.
I would say the only time you see this traditionally happen is on a same-day tiebreak, and sometimes in a tournament where it's a rapid tournament where something was tied and you have to create a winner, or even a blitz tournament or even a classical tournament. For example, like Norway chess, where Norway chess has come out of a classical game and then you have to change in that Armageddon game. And so you see it similar circumstances. You just have to figure out how to adjust quickly because your whole body clock is going one way, body and mental clock, and now it has to go another. We see here, this position, they're sort of warming into this Slav-ish structure.
It sure looks like a Slav.
Exchange Slav structure. And Garry is not far behind on the clock, but Vichy has a little bit of a lead.
I'm surprised by the move knight D2. Garry, it's clear that he's making knight C5 his home, if you will. I'm just not sure that the knight really belongs on that square C5. I really thought that knight G3, queen E1 was going to occur.
Oh,
Vichy is getting ready to castle queenside now.
Now I'm wholly reacting to the evaluation bar, which is now creeping up above that 5 and 6th rank, right there. Looks like
suddenly we can castle kingside, and the idea is black's king is going to be stuck on the queen side, and maybe when white castles his king is going to be super safe
with the queen on H1.
Well, you got an H3, queen H2. It'll peak.
Or H4 or H4 H5, which looks more attractive. No, that's going to be amazing if the king cannot castle the black king. That's going to be problematic for Anand for sure.
Yeah, castle's right here, right now. and make that move quickly, Garry could be thinking about H4.
Probably is.
He's got to be
And Queen
considering
H2.
But this is a massive moment, and again, a massive time to think. So maybe recognizing rather the critical nature of the position, but 2:40 on the clock, almost down to half of his starting bank. You can't spend too much time.
I've got to say, it's actually quite surprising that he hasn't castled already.
Agreed.
Because castles is such a natural move.
Yep.
It's clear that his opponent cannot go kingside with him. He's going to have a ready-made open C file. Castles is... I mean, what else, actually,
Now,
would you be thinking about other than H4? H4 captures my attention as well.
You'd be
A3,
surprised.
B4.
How many top players I've spoken to who have forgotten that castling is even an option in chess 960 at
I
a certain
know.
point?
I'm going to assume that that's what's happened
right?
here.
You're
Yeah.
looking at the position, it feels like that's already happened.
There
And he
we
did
go.
the two-handed castles again.
But he did grab his king first.
Yes.
Okay.
And he did not forget. He did not forget. I was mistaken. He realized he could. And now Vichy has castled
as well.
But when you look at it, you see the difference. I mean, after H4, the queen will be able to go to the H2 square after a rook to C1. And there's H4 on the board. And man, you've got to like white all day.
Big time, big time. F7, F6. Vichy understands that the queen is coming to H2, the knight was coming to E5. He's trying to stop
on the board.
these very, very rapid moves. Rook C1 followed by B4 is just begging to be played.
This is Garry Kasparov in his element right now. This is Garry just attack. And King B8 running out of there, trying to get out of the center.
This is an attacker's dream.
But this is just an auto attack.
Absolutely.
14 moves in.
Yeah.
14 moves in. The only thing that looks weird here is the queen on H2, and it doesn't look weird at all.
Yeah. But let's go. Let's just
Start sending the pawns?
Oh, whoa. Garry tricked us.
Not the pawn I thought.
I thought his focus was going to be on the queen side with A3, B4. Fishy said, look, I see you. I got to get off this diagonal. And look at this. Garry got in a very nice bump in the bump. He's doing everything with tempo. He's
clamping down right now.
Look like he's in cruise. Oh, no! That blunders.
He blundered.
That blunders. Oh,
Rook
blunder.
C7, Vichy, what just happened? As you can see, the rook hanging on C7, and Garry has won again.
And the clock times again. Gary's rewarded. Every time he gets into trouble on the clock, he gets rewarded with a mistake.
But the clock time, just like you said, take a breath. I know we've been talking about moving fast, too, and making sure you're keeping up the pace. But you can't get ahead of yourself and let something slip like that, because that's another 2 points that goes the way of Garry Kasparov. And now we're starting to talk about a lead that's looking insurmountable. Not mathematically.
Oh, no.
But it's starting to get to
bad.
that point where it's just
really
looking bad. And here we'll see it all play out.
Let's replay that last mistake.
But clearly, the threat of knight C5 is certainly one you have
palpable.
to...
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do, in fact? It's just
Probably
terrible
play
looking
B6,
position. Probably play B6 and stop it. And yes, you're right. Instead, just dropping now with the
And
rook
Vichy
hanging.
saw it instantly.
Immediate.
Yeah. But isn't that the craziest thing that happens to every player? You sit there and you think, and you go, I'm going to play this move. You've just released the piece and you're pressing the clock and you go,
And then you see the...
oh, that is a terrible mistake.
That's every other move for me.
Well, you're a long line of players.
It's nice to see even the legends be mortals at times.
Look how much time he has on his clock.
That's
3
what-
minutes.
that's what I'm saying.
134.
Take
this
that
is
breath.
This is crazy.
Take that breath.
Did
And
not have
Garry
to rush. And Garry just said, I'll take that. And that
double
queen,
attack.
You know, but here's something very important. I know that it's a clear blunder.
Of
Yes,
course,
we
clear.
agree.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, and I know you know this experience 100% because we played so many games. I was explaining this idea. A lot of times, you don't actually see the pieces on the board. You see them in your mind. Mm-hmm. Queens don't belong on H2.
No, that's true.
They just don't.
Yeah.
So a queen on H2, you're thinking...
The queen's on D2.
It's over somewhere else.
Right. C2.
So you make a move, and then suddenly you go, wait a minute, your queen's over there. you don't actually see the pieces. They're in your head. You're making them on the board, but you see them in your head. And that queen does not belong on h2 in this chess position in normal chess, but of course it's 960. You've got to make the adjustment of actually focusing on the individual squares. That pattern recognition can come sometimes to bite us on the behind.
Yeah.
And that it did in this game.
It's the beauty of chess 960. It distorts the entire landscape of the battlefield, right? And it's going to put even the best to the test. And in this moment, the best have been tested, but one has come out on top along the way. We will get that corrected because it isn't 2 points over there for Viswanathan Anand in blitz number 1. It's a decisive advantage here for Garry Kasparov, getting 2 points for himself and
the $2,000
another $2,000
bonus money. So he's up to
money.
should be up to $5,000 on that graphic.
Right.